And good morning. It's 7:04 on this Tuesday, January 17th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome here on a Tuesday. We're glad to have you with us, and of course, glad to be on the air for Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. And Tracy Pope is here this morning, and we're going to start with you, Tracy, because you got some news for us this morning.
Good morning, Coleman. Yes, we have some exciting visitors here with us this morning from the Vanderbilt Center of Women's Health here in Lebanon. And since they were joining us this morning, we had a wonderful recognition in December. Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital is one of the 2022-2023 best hospitals for maternity care, according to U.S. News & World Report. So we're very excited about that recognition. I know that our maternity services, our midwifery program, our Vanderbilt Center for Health, OBGYNs, they have done a fantastic job just raising the level of care at the hospital, and we're very excited to share this recognition.
Well, U.S. News & World Report is that's big recognition if it comes from them.
We think so. It just goes to show, what a great way to honor VUMC's commitment to regional maternity services here in our community.
Okay, well, we're going to be talking about that this morning, right?
Yes, sir. We have Anna McCracken. She's one of our nurse midwives at Vanderbilt Center for Women's Health here in Lebanon, and Kristen Source, a physician's assistant in the same practice, here to talk to us today about women's health.
All right, we welcome both of you, and I think this is the first time either of you have been on Coleman and Company.
Yes, sir.
So we're certainly glad to see you. I have to say, Tracy always brings some great guests, some wonderful people to talk to, and I think through this medium that people are learning a lot about even health care, and especially what is offered right here in Wilson County, and we hope so. So I'm going to let each of you tell us a little bit about yourself, and how long you've been in the practice. And Kristen, you want to get us started?
I can. Good morning. So I have been practicing in Lebanon for 24 years now, but I've been with Vanderbilt for the last 8-9 months, I think.
Okay, well, go back to the beginning. Where did you grow up?
So I grew up here in Lebanon.
All right.
I am a Lebanonite, and practiced in women's health to begin with, and went into family pediatrics, and then family practice probably for majority of my career, and have been back in women's health for the past 3 years, I think.
Mm-hmm. What prompted you to choose the healthcare field?
I think when I was growing up, I was always sick, and so I don't know if everybody remembers Dr. Martin and Dr. Wiggins. I spent a lot of time in that pediatric office and just admired what they did, and just always knew that's what I wanted to do.
Okay. All right. Anna McCracken, same thing. Tell us about you.
Yeah, good morning. Thanks for having us. I am originally from Tacoma, Washington. I moved out to Nashville to go to midwifery school. And I've been practicing as a midwife for the past year, and have been out with this practice here at Vanderbilt Wilson County about as long as Kristen, about 8 or 9 months. And I just have enjoyed it so much. I've really loved being a part of this community.
Is this something you always wanted to do?
No, not at all. My first career was in outdoor education with young people. I would take them out backpacking, rock climbing, kayaking, things like that. And then I decided actually I wanted to do something with women and with health. And a mentor of mine mentioned to me, have you ever thought about being a midwife? And I said to her, do midwives still exist? I didn't even know that midwives were still in practice, because in my mind, and I think for a lot of folks, the term has a little bit of an antiquated connotation, and we don't realize that there are midwives working in our communities and have been for generations. So once I decided that, then it was no questions. I knew that was what I wanted to do.
Well, there's a lot of things I'd like to ask you here, but this is probably not the right time. We want to talk about the expanding Vanderbilt Clinic and where you're located, the new location. You want to tell us that?
Sure. So we're located right outside the Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. Some folks might be familiar with Dr. Lanning, who is an OBGYN in practice here for a very long time, and we moved into his office space.
The type of patients that you see,
So we see a good variety of women, not only for OB care, but also for general gynecological care. I think I practice more on the gynecological care, but do see quite a bit of OBs. And so we'll see them for general health and any problems that they may have, and just well woman exams.
you enjoy doing that.
I do.
Yeah.
It's really my passion. You know, having been in family practice, I did majority of the women's health when I worked in family practice. So it's been an easy transition back into that field, and I think that's probably where my calling is.
Yep. Well, Anna, as far as being a nurse midwife, do you do other things?
So yes, the nurse midwives, we work in clinic, like similar to what Kristen was describing, but then we also attend births in Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital and take care of any pregnant folks who might be coming in through like the emergency room and need care at the hospital. We take care of them and postpartum patients.
Well, is what you're doing something that is relatively new, or did you just add to an existing service?
So Dr. Lanning has been in practice here in Lebanon for over 35 years, I think is the right date. So I worked with him before Vanderbilt came in, and Vanderbilt already had a growing population of women's health here in Lebanon. And so I think combining the two practices has done well for this community because we provide a great resource.
When Vanderbilt first purchased the hospital, you know, we evaluated the services that were in the community, and Dr. Lanning had a wonderful practice, but we knew that there would be some transition in a couple of years ahead. So that was one of the first service lines that Vanderbilt brought, was the Vanderbilt Center for Women's Health. And at the time, it was a 7-provider practice. So, you know how when you think about starting a new practice, you bring in maybe one physician, a nurse practitioner, but they brought in 7 providers at one time to really have an established, growing women's health center. And with Dr. Lanning's transition to retirement, it has really worked out well, where the community has not lost that service line, and we've continued on with the service line.
Okay, let's talk about making appointments. Which one of you want to tell us how to make an appointment?
Yeah, you can call the office number to make your appointment, but I would also just, you know, for our patients, they can download the My Health at Vanderbilt app on their phones, and that's a great way to make appointments, to send messages to their providers, to check lab results, and we can help them get that set up as well.
Well, as I have said many times, technology passed me by a long time ago, but for somebody that's pretty simple, is there a way to pick up the phone and make an appointment?
There is. The number to schedule an appointment is 615-343-5700.
Okay, we are maybe a little bit early for a break, but why don't we do one right here? Our program, of course, presented each Tuesday at this time by Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital, and this is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. It's all brought to you by Bates Ford. That regular oil change, $34.95 up to 5 quarts oil, tax and disposal. 1673 West Main. Now with traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Right now, we see that heavy traffic volume trying to get in from Rutherford County on 24 westbound up through the Hickory Hollow area, headed towards Davidson County, Nashville. It's busy right on schedule. 65 southbound here at Long Hollow Pike. All the traffic building out of Sumner County on Vietnam Vets, coming through Wilson County. Also on the increased westbound I-40, passing 109. Hey, Nash Painting is Middle Tennessee's #1 residential and commercial painters. Check them out online today at nashpainting.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing has experienced new leadership and a new atmosphere. Same location in the heart of Lebanon, 731 Castle Heights Court on the Castle Heights campus. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing is providing 5-star clinical outcomes to short-term and long-term care residents. Call 615-444-4319 for a tour and to experience the new culture. Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing.
At Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital, world-class care is a heartbeat away. In fact, we offer the same world-class attention Middle Tennessee has come to rely on from a Vanderbilt Health hospital. Supported by over 200 specialties, an expanded emergency department staffed with Vanderbilt Health physicians 24/7, and greater investments in life-saving technologies and care. It's just one more way we're making healthcare personal.
It's easier than
We
speaking.
continue here on this Tuesday morning, our program presented by Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. And let me just say again what we told you in the beginning. Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital, one of the 2022-2023 best hospitals for maternity care, according to U.S. News and World Report. So we want to dwell on that just a little bit this morning. We do have Tracy Pope, of course, and as well as Anna McCracken, nurse midwife, and Kristen Source, physician assistant. And I want us now to talk about the experienced certified nurse midwifery care approach. Anna, you want to do that?
Yeah, so at Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital now, we have 24/7 midwifery coverage. So at any point when someone comes into our hospital, they'll be cared for by one of the midwives, and we work in collaboration with our OBGYN colleagues. But I think the best way to describe the midwifery approach is that midwife, the word means with women. So our approach is to really come alongside our patients and to support them in the experience that is what they desire and healthiest and best for them, and to see them as experts in their own lived experience and to make decisions together and help make sure that their birth experience is an empowering one and that they feel well supported and seen and can come away feeling wonderful about the time that they've spent with us.
Is this for everybody necessarily?
Well, I would say yes, actually, because I think the thing about a midwife is to meet folks where they're at and to provide the kind of care that patients want. So, for example, if I have a patient who comes in and says, I don't want to feel pain, or I want to, this, that, and the other about my birth experience, it's my job to help support them in achieving that. If they come in and they say, I don't want an epidural, or I don't want to have, these different various interventions, then it's my job to talk to them about those things too and help come up with a plan together that best meets their needs.
You can at least spend a good deal of time in such a discussion?
Yes, lots of time discussing with patients. We spend a lot of time in the room. If you're working with a midwife, most of the time, we'll be in there I know a lot of patients will say, oh, I didn't expect that you would be in here so much, but that's part of our work, is to just really be there with patients, with their families, and to help facilitate that experience with them.
Well, Kristen, anything you want to add to that?
Well, I work in the office 100%. I don't go into the hospital anymore, but it's my job to help them prepare for that experience as well. So I think that myself, I work well with the midwives and helping to educate the patients about what our practice does differently, because not every practice has midwifery associated with it, and it's a great avenue for women now because you can have more of a specialized birth, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What types of conditions will be treated in your clinic?
So I treat everything from general well-being of the woman to breast issues and vaginal health, if you will, and even overall well-being of the female.
So it's quite extensive what you do.
Absolutely. For a lot of women, we are the only healthcare providers they see ever. Women are not great about taking care of themselves, so they really only come in if they're having problems. They are the caregivers for everyone else. So when they come in, a lot of them have issues that really need to be resolved.
Well, do you have additional resources or specialization in your scope of practice?
So I specialized in family practice, so I have that background. I think that lends a different aspect than just women's care. I think that I pick up on things a little bit quicker and say, okay, we need to get that taken care of with a specialist and refer out. But I think I'm quick to pick that up.
Have you always just treated women?
No, working in family practice, I treated
well, good, 'cause I
everybody.
want to ask you the difference.
So I think the biggest difference is women tend not to come in until they're really not doing well sometimes because they do put
And
everybody.
men aren't that way? I've been accused of that more than once.
I think men come in a little bit quicker because their wives send them in.
Okay. They want them to go, but they hold back.
Women put themselves on the back burner, I think. I think that our role in a lot of cases, we take care of everyone else before we take care of ourselves. And I think that we do ourselves a disservice doing that because really, if we're not taking care of ourselves, we can't take care of everybody else as well as we could.
Well, you must do some encouragement if you have the opportunity, but you don't know if somebody's sick if they don't or have a problem if they don't present with it, right?
Correct, which is why it's so important for women to come in annually and have that exam because we're going to pick up on things that you don't even think to complain about. We have a list of things, or I do, that I'm going to ask you when you come in. It's things that you wouldn't even think of asking for help for.
Is that list written down, or is it off the top of your head?
It's honestly off the top of my head. I've been doing it long enough that I take what they say as an answer and it leads into a next question. So it's not
Kind of
really
like an interview, isn't it?
It truly is an interview. If you don't interview a patient well, it's hard to treat them well.
But you're able then to really dig in, if you will, really get down to the nitty gritty here and find out what maybe where there's a big problem.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah.
That's part of what we do is, listen to things that you're not saying and trying to determine the best course of treatment.
Do women try to hide things from you at times?
Sometimes, although I feel like in that interview process that we establish enough of a relationship with them that they are able to be more open than they would be. And that's part of what I enjoy doing is establishing that relationship with a patient.
Well, I think part of our human makeup, we don't want something to be wrong, and we're hoping you don't find something wrong. We need to be forthcoming, but I know when somebody starts asking me questions, like I'm sure you do, there's just something about finding something wrong. And of course, that's why you come to start with, but you don't want you to find anything wrong.
Well, and we certainly,
Isn't that right?
That is correct. We certainly don't want to find something wrong with everyone, and we don't. But if there's something that needs to be evaluated further, we want to have that capability to do so.
Any of that ring a bell with you on it?
I was just going to add, and for a lot of folks, their pregnancy is maybe one of the first times that they might interface with the healthcare system, or one of the first times in a very long time. So it's an opportunity for us to build rapport and build relationship with them because we're seeing them so often. We're seeing them every 4 weeks and then every 2 weeks and then during the last month of their pregnancy every week. So we really do get to build relationship with our patients and then have an opportunity to encourage them to follow up annually and then also to have their loved ones follow up. And
Well, I think another thing too, you have to gain their trust a little bit. They have to feel that you have their best interest at heart, right?
Absolutely. And that's a large portion of what we do every day is establishing that trust and that relationship with our patients. And I think that our office does a great job with that.
All right, let's talk a little bit more about the pregnancy care experience. You want to do that?
Sure. So if someone, thinks they might be pregnant, or even if somebody has the desire to become pregnant, it's a great time to come and make an appointment with us. We can chat with them about, if it's more the wanting to become pregnant, kind of what that might look like and different resources and support. And then once they are pregnant, we walk with them through that journey like I said, seeing them about every 4 weeks at first, and then every 2 weeks, and then every week. And then towards the end, talking about the birth experience and getting ready for having baby over at Wilson County Hospital. And the nurses over there offer free labor and birth classes that are really wonderful resources for our patients and their partners, or whatever other birth support folks might be joining them.
You're sort of like a coach, aren't you?
Sort of, yeah. I think that's, oftentimes folks will ask, what's the difference between a midwife and a doula? Because we've often heard, the term doula, and doulas are more emotional support, birth support folks. And midwives and doulas work really well together. But a lot of what doulas do, midwives also have within our scope of coaching folks and working with them in that way.
When one is going to give birth the first time to their first child, after that, I guess you've been there, done that, so to speak. So it's not, but that first time's got to be. There's a lot of unknowns there, right?
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of unknowns, both for the birthing person and for their partner. So we can, talk through those things, help to support them every step along the way. And the nurses at the hospital are fantastic at that as well.
Anything you want to add to that?
I think that Anna covered it very well. Sorry, Anna. It really is important to have that relationship. And I know I speak a lot about relationships, but it really is important to have that, because this is a very life-changing event, and to have someone to walk you through that is very important.
Y'all may have answered this earlier, but we'll talk. Do you only take care of pregnant women?
No, we take care of young adults in their teens, all the way through menopausal women in their 70s and 80s. So we really do see the entire scope of a woman's life.
But would that be the same for you?
Yep, same for me as well. Yep. Midwives, we can see, like Kristen was saying, from, the point of puberty and first menstruation all the way through end of life.
And I think that's a big misconception that people think, I don't need to go to that specialized service because I'm not pregnant, or I'm not having children, or I'm past that time. But I think that's where you can really get that personalized care. I think there's lots of providers that can provide women's health, but I think that's something extra that you will see in this clinic.
Do you, this is not on my list of questions here, but do you see your area at the hospital growing? Will there be additional people to do what you do? You're going to need them, and maybe even the near future or years to come?
Yeah, I think we all have something to say about that. I've been in the healthcare service for about 15 years, and we see a lot of young women exiting Wilson County to have deliveries, to have their birth experience. And we want to bring that back to Wilson County. We're trying to provide excellent care closer to home. And so we have an excellent practice here in Wilson County through Vanderbilt, just bringing that high level of care here to Wilson County. And we're just trying to share that with those in the community.
Okay. Do you want them to talk about that too?
I think absolutely. As I've practiced here in Lebanon, I have seen Wilson County grow exponentially, and I think that we provide that avenue for women not to have to leave the county for health care, whereas before they may have said, we need to go to Nashville to have that great care. It's right here in Lebanon, and we don't have to go any further than Wilson County to get that perfect care.
You're nodding yes.
Yeah, I agree. And the numbers of babies that we're welcoming here in Wilson County are growing. So I'd love to see, more midwifery.
What was the number last year? 720?
Something, yeah. So
I know we should know that number off the top of our heads, but I don't. So,
yeah.
Well, that all ties in with receiving the Best Hospital Award for Maternity Care from U.S. News and World Report, Tracy.
I know. It's very exciting. We just received that designation in December of 2022, so we're very excited to share that with the community. And, all of the stuff that we have talked about this morning, you can find on our website, VanderbiltWilsonCountyHospital.com. You can go to the website, find the practice, find all the providers that are in their practice with Anna and Kristen. So if you're interested, that's a good resource, and you can always reach out to Coleman and contact us that way as well.
Well, Kristen Source, thank you so much for being with us today. It seems like you have a world of experience and you got all the answers.
Oh, I definitely don't have all the answers, but I know where to go to look for them.
Well, Anna McCracken, nurse midwife, thank you for being with us as well.
Thank you so much.
And Tracy, thanks for another good program.
Thanks, Coleman.
Anything you want to say in the last 30 seconds?
I think we covered it. Where the practice has moved on our Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital campus. It's located at 1421 West Badura Parkway. It's in Dr. Lanning's old practice since he retired. We now purchased the building and have the Vanderbilt Center for Women's Health in that same location.
Okay, for those who might not have caught it at the beginning, and where Dr. Lannon used to be.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, thank you all so much. And that is part one of Coleman and Company, presented each Tuesday by Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. We hope you'll stay with us for more. You're on FM 98.9.
And it's 7:29. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks, Absolute Kubota. High performance, high horsepower, 0% financing is still a thing. Now is the best time to save on a new Kubota L-Series tractor, rated #1 for durability and owner experience in the U.S. Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. I'm looking at a wreck over here in South Nashville. It's going to be on 65 northbound right at 440. That's got traffic really slow now between Armory and 440 coming northbound. On 65, that's slowing down that traffic flow coming up from Brentwood, Franklin, in this area here in South Nashville on 65 northbound. It's building pretty good on Vietnam Vets coming through Hendersonville as you pass Conference Drive. Hey, Nash Painting services all of Middle Tennessee. They're online at nashpainting.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
What is your passion? How can you use that passion to enrich your community? Hi, this is Melanie Minter, President and CEO of the Lebanon-Wilson County Chamber of Commerce. Your chamber is the resource for making connections to fulfill your passion. Whether education, nonprofit, agriculture, entertainment, or government relations, Wilson County offers a place for you to be involved. Your chamber connects businesses, individuals, and your passion to the community. We have an enthusiasm for excellence. Join us and catch the spirit. Call or visit our office at 149 Public Square in Lebanon.
Chances for showers stay with us through the morning, so watch out for any wet spots on the road during your morning drive. We will see a high of 66 later today with some sun peeking out. It will be just as warm tomorrow, but rain chances do return for the afternoon. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. That's a look at your forecast. I'm number one Ned.
Coleman and Company, welcome to part two here on a Tuesday morning. Sean Dozier joins us to talk about Hearthside Senior Living. Sean's the Executive Director, Hearthside Retirement and Assisted Living Community. Good morning.
Good morning, Coleman. It's always great to be here on a Tuesday. A little cloudy out there, a little drizzly, but it's going to be a great day. It's going to be a great day.
Football game last night.
Well, Tom Brady, he's finished, isn't he? You think he's going to retire?
It may be time.
Maybe time.
But the Cowboys kind of put a whooping on them last night.
When I was growing up, the Cowboys, that was my team. They came on every Sunday at noon after church, and then, of course, the Titans came into town, and the rest is history, but it was good to see them pull out a win.
I've never really been a Cowboy fan, but I was pulling for them last night.
Yeah, I was too.
All right. Let's talk about Hearthside.
Well, Coleman, we have some premium real estate available. We have a large room available, which doesn't come open since I've been there. We fill them pretty quickly. So we do have a large room available, premium real estate, right there on the heart of the campus at Hearthside. So if you're interested in a large room in the assisted living, we do have that available. And I imagine once I announce it on the radio and once I make a couple of calls, it'll be sold by the end of the day. But that room is a great place to live in that season of your life because it's large, a lot of space to fill up what you need to fill up. And I tell you what, that room, as all of our rooms, we have that one price that we offer. You get your activities, you get your management, you get your 3 meals a day, snacks, you get housekeeping, laundry. We even provide towels for you. So there's a lot of things that we provide at that one price that people really appreciate. So if you're interested or you're thinking about assisted living, those large rooms, in fact, our medium rooms really don't come open up. They don't open up a lot. So if you're interested in a large room, please stop by today for a tour. We don't give our address I don't think very often, but it's 215 Castle Heights Avenue North, or they can call us at 615-443-1994. Assisted living is, as we like to say, Coleman, a time where you need a little extra helping hand. And of course, we have residents that drive. We have residents that come and go. They go shopping. They live their lives. But if you just need a little extra help during that season of your life, assisted living is the place to be.
Well, that's what we say. That's what we say quite often when it's time for a helping hand, and you've got a lot of helping hands.
Well, we do. We have a great staff, and as I say many times on here, I couldn't do it without them. A lot of long-term employees, and we are looking for a part-time RA, resident assistant, on our second shift, which is 3 to 11. So if you know somebody out there who's just looking for a part-time job, maybe 2 or 3 days a week, we would love to talk to you about that position. It really is a ministry. It's a service to those folks at Hearthside. And if you love older folks, if you love to listen to their stories, if you love to help them out when they need a little extra help, it would be a great place for somebody in that position.
Well, of course, you do have the retirement community, which is, we don't really need to talk a lot about that because it stays full and you have a long waiting list.
Well, I like to talk about it.
But it's a wonderful
It's a wonderful place. I love to talk about it. Those 2 and 3 bedroom homes, we like to say maintenance-free living. It's a wonderful place to live that season of your life where you can come and go as you please, and we take care of everything inside and out. And I keep adding people to that waiting list and telling people, hey, you might want to have a plan B, plan C, plan D, just in case, because we do have that long waiting list. But it's a wonderful community. It was a great idea. It continues to be very popular, and I'm thrilled with the people that are there. And
that really, though, the whole thing about your retirement community is really a wonderful story, because when it first began, it took a while for it to take off, let's say.
It really did. We have some people there that got some really, really good deals, and and that's good for them, So, but later on, it really became popular. But it did, Coleman. It took a while for it to catch on. People couldn't really grasp the concept, but
with the two of those together, they
it really
kind of work
does.
hand in hand.
It does match up very well. We've had several people move to the big house, as we like to say, for the assisted living, and that really has just been great because they know us. They know the culture there. They know the staff. They know me, and so it makes it for an easy transition.
Well, I just think Lebanon and Wilson County and our surrounding area here is a much better place because of Hearthside.
Well, thank you for saying that. Yeah, I do too. It's we've served a lot of people over the years, and now we're serving second generation people, and it's served a lot of people over the years and continues to provide a great place. Again, I like to say for people to live that season of their life in a safe, comfortable, and we like to say Christian environment because it started as a ministry and it continues to be that today. Coleman, we have a crowd.
Well, you have a heart for what you're doing.
Thank
too.
you very
I'm gonna
much.
brag on you and Hearthside.
Thank you very
this
much.
morning.
Thank
All
you.
right, are you
And by
ready?
the way, my wife said thank you for accepting her Facebook friend request. I think she got more excited about that last week than anything else that happened all week. So I appreciate you doing that.
Well, okay. No need to say more.
My heart said hello. My
yeah.
heart said hello. It's a sentimental one. My first heart said hello was to Joe Smith, and I wanted to tell her I was praying for her and her family as she lost Dave last week. Dave and Joe have been great to me and Rebecca over the years, and I just wanted to say hello to them.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great program. It's going to be a great. Hope people stay tuned.
Okay. That's Sean Dozier. He's Executive Director of Hearthside Senior Living, Retirement Assisted Living Community at 215 Castle Heights Avenue North. And, of course, the phone number is 615-443-1994. We're about 22 before the hour. This morning, we're going to find out who's going to get roasted this year. And at the Kiwanis Club of Lebanon's annual roast, which we're going to talk about. And Chelsea Nice, good morning.
Good morning.
Now, what's your role in this? You chairman of this committee, maybe?
I am a co-chair of this event this year. I've got with me Wilson Powell. So together we're working to plan this. And then also we've got Gail Hibbert with us. She's our Kiwanis president this year.
Well, I guess we ought to go to the president.
Yes,
here.
please.
Gail Hibbert is one of my regulars. Once a month we get to see you, and
As a
this
matter
month
of fact, Friday.
we'll get to see you twice. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well. All right, Wilson Powell. Good morning to you. Good morning, Coleman. How are you? And you and Chelsea you and Chelsea are co-chairs for this event, right?
That's correct. Yes,
All
sir.
right. Well, have you ever been on my program before?
I have. I came at the end of last year for Raymond James and Wilson Bank.
Okay. Well, like I say, in 29 and going on 30 years, it's hard to remember everybody that's been here.
understand.
We welcome you again.
Thank you.
And we've really got a big announcement to make this morning. But before we get to that, we need to talk about the roast and a lot of things about it, of course. But we could even do more. Last year was your first year for the Kiwanis Club of Lebanon to take over this event. Prior to that, the library, Wilson County Library, had done it for years and years. And then COVID came along. And we didn't have it. It sort of got resurrected, and last year kicked off, I think, in a big way with Dr. Paul Stum being roasted. And we're all wondering who, and you haven't let him or her, oh, did somebody, she's waiting in the wings. Okay. Now I know. I've been wondering for weeks. We'll hold everybody's suspense till after the break at 7:45. So that gives us plenty of time for the three of you to tell us all we need to know about when, where, and then we'll find out who. Is that okay? Yes. All right. Well, Chelsea, I got to say this. When this radio station started, Susie, your mother, made a picture of me and you.
Yes, she did.
And you were a little girl. How old were you then?
4, probably. I mean, it started when I was like born, but I think that picture I was 3 or 4. 3.
She says you were 3. All right. Well, you're much more than. Well, we can add.
I'm a little more than that now.
29 and 3. Right?
A little over that now.
Something like that. Back to you, Gail. Were you part of this last year? As part of the club, you were part of the roast, I guess.
Well, I think everybody in the club had a part in pulling off the event last year. It was a big undertaking, but it was also a great opportunity. Since the library didn't want to go forward with it, it was an opportunity for us to come in and do that basically on their behalf to keep it going. And it's turned out to be one of our biggest fundraisers. As a matter of fact, it's replaced the pancake breakfast, which I don't think anybody's crying about not having to flip pancakes early in the morning. I didn't hear anybody saying, no, let's go back to pancakes. Let's put it that way. But it netted us like over $12,000 last year. So it allows us to do more in the community. It allows us to have a bigger impact. It also is a great way to involve the entire club versus, so many people can't go do this or so many people can't go do that. It's really a collective group coming together to make sure that every detail is taken care of and that the roast is a fun night. It's entertaining and it's a fellowship as well.
All right, Wilson, Chelsea, you're co-chairs for this. How long you been working on this?
3 or 4 months, I'd say. Yeah, we were asked to do this and been excited to jump in. I will say that Chelsea's done the lion's share of the work on all this. I'm more of a person that she can ask, and I'll say that sounds good. I'm a good backup for things like that. But
he is underselling himself.
I do want to say that under Gail and Chelsea's leadership, the club is really vibrant now. It's starting to grow a lot more, and we're having a lot of good meetings and able to do a lot more events. So it's very exciting.
Let's see. You meet on Mondays, I believe.
Correct. 12 o'clock at First Methodist Church here
and
on West Main.
You're always looking for new members, and the
Always.
president especially. Okay.
Always.
All right. To get maybe a little more specific here, when is the roast going to be?
So it's going to be Tuesday, March 28th at the Capitol Theater. Doors are going to open at 5:30 p.m. and dinner will start at 6 o'clock this year, with the show beginning at 6:45. We have a couple different ticketing options for people. Individual tickets will be on sale for $60 a ticket. Sponsorships for businesses are available to buy a whole table of 8 seats. That's $750. And then if you just want to have a table of 8 people that you want to get together with no sponsorship involved, that's $550 as well to reserve a table to sit together.
Now, are tickets available yet?
They will be February 1st.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
So not yet, but at that time, how do you get them? Online,
You call my friends, Miss Judy Cox and Medina Hemmentolder. So we'll have them again this year at C&D Realty. And so they can go into their office over on West Main or call their office and get some tickets.
so they're kind of responsible for these tickets all being
Yes.
sold. But there is limited seating at the Capitol, and I think we pretty much had a full house last year.
We
I don't know if
did. We sold out last year.
They don't allow standing room only, I don't think.
Correct.
Right. The fire marshal says this many and no more, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what we're doing a little bit different this year is we're going to be plating the dinner. And so it will be a served dinner instead of a buffet style like last year. So that actually adds 5 tables. And so we added a little bit to what we can bring in, but then yes, we are maxing out the Capitol Theater this year. We sure hope to have another sale out.
And it's the last Tuesday in March.
Correct.
At the Capitol Theater, which is the same site as last year.
Same site.
You wanting to say something? No, not necessarily. Gail, I'm looking at Gail.
I have a lot of things I could say.
Well, it is time for us to take a break, and when we come back, we will announce who the roastee is going to be this year. And I have an idea that people are as anxious to know as I've been for a long time, and we'll find out. So keep it right here. Stay with us here on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Bates Ford, and get $50 off, $250 repair offer to owners of 4 to 10-year-old Ford, Lincoln, and Mercury vehicles. Bates Ford, 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. We got a vehicle that's overturned. It's going to be in that section of Cheatham County on 40 eastbound, right there in Pegram, Kingston Springs area. Now, keep that in mind as you come in from Dixon County. I'm seeing a pretty good delay on 40 eastbound over here around the 190 mile marker as you go through that small section of Cheatham County. There on 40 going eastbound in Kingston Springs. They're working a wreck 65 northbound here at 440. That's delaying a lot of people in South Nashville right now, especially coming up from Brentwood and Franklin arriving here. It's just crawling on 65 northbound up by Armory. Hey, Princess Hot Chicken is catering. They're online at princesshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Welcome to Hearthside Senior Living, Lebanon's unique senior living community designed for seniors to age in place, all within a safe, comfortable, and Christian environment. Beautiful retirement homes designed for an independent lifestyle with maintenance-free living. Hearthside Senior Living also continues the excellent tradition of assisted living for those seniors who need additional services. Hearthside Senior Living, an independent retirement community and assisted living community, all on one campus in the heart of Lebanon. Call 615-443-1994 for a tour.
And now, a moment of silence to remember our dear friend.
Sorry. Oh, man. Life can be uncomfortable. Your home doesn't have to be. With a wide range of air conditioners, furnaces, and heat pumps, Bream makes it easy to feel comfortable, even when you can't be comfortable.
Financing available through TVA's Energy Right program and your local power company. Call Randy's Heat and Air 237-3604.
Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us. It is a Tuesday morning, and we are joined by the yet unidentified roastee for this year, which we're going to announce in a moment. But the Kiwanis Club of Lebanon picked this up last year after the COVID years, and doing what the library had been doing. And I think, Gail, you explained that pretty well a while ago. We do have our president here of the Kiwanis Club of Lebanon. And Gail, you wanted to say a few more things. Let people know maybe a little bit about the club, which I didn't let you do a few minutes ago.
That's okay. A lot of people may not even realize what Kiwanis does in general as a club. And Kiwanis has a very strong focus of helping children, and that can be done in a manner that is quite diversified if you look at how we get involved in the community. And we've got some key projects that we work on. We're very involved with the youth baseball program that also involves Rotary at the same time. And we've got different organizations that we give money to pretty often, just depending on what the needs are that come to the table. And some of those are Habitat, Kids Need Homes, So that affects them. The Wilson County Schools Family Resource Center, Christmas for All, the Whip Crackin' Rodeo, Books from Birth, Empower Me, Head Start program. I mean, there's a lot of different things that we're involved in. So if anybody has an interest in giving back to their organization through a civic organization, we welcome them to come visit us anytime at noon on Mondays at the United Methodist Church.
And as we said earlier, always looking for new members.
Always looking for new members.
More people to share the load.
The more people we have, the more that we can do.
Yeah, right. Okay, well, Chelsea Nice and Wilson Powell are the co-chairs for the library roast, and we are ready to identify the roastee this year. Chelsea, do you want to make the announcement?
I will. So this year, or we do like a drum roll. This year, we decided to have Dory Mitchell as our roastee.
Dory is here. Dory, good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
Now, as I recall, you were chosen the last time we were going to have the roast and didn't get to have it. And I'm trying to remember, did you come out here, or did you do this before? You never made it to Coleman and Company to be announced.
I never got here.
Oh, well, we are making up for it now, right?
Thank you, Coleman.
Well, it's good to see you. Are you surprised that you were chosen again, so to speak?
Very.
Oh, all right. What are you looking forward to? You get to, I think you get to choose the people who will be roasting you, telling stories about Dory.
I do.
Then you have time to respond at the end. So that's what makes it so great. You have the last word.
Well, it does make you kind of nervous to be on the spot like that, but I did pick, I asked, and they accepted 3 really great people that know me very well. Jeff Ray has been a friend of mine for years and years, and Jeff's a great comedian and a great public speaker, and so he has known me for a long time. He will be one. And then if you know Lee Campbell with Pinnacle Bank, Lee has been a great friend of mine through Leadership Wilson for several years. Lee's probably one of the funniest guys I've ever listened to, and he can wow a crowd at any moment. So there's no telling what he might make up or say that night. You just never know. And then Lisa Tucker with Aquabella Day Spa in Mount Juliet has been a really good friend of mine for a long time. Lee and Lisa through Leadership Wilson have been, I've worked with them very closely, and Lisa can speak to anybody at any time. So I think they'll be comfortable making up something about me.
And you're already wondering what they're going to say and how you're going to respond, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm pretty good at dishing it out, but I don't know how good I am at taking it. So it's going to be interesting.
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
Well, it's something to look forward to. And again, it's the last Tuesday in March. And what is it, 28th?
March 28th.
March 28th at the Capitol Theater.
Yes, sir.
But one of the things about it, tickets are going to go fast, no doubt, and you're probably going to get sold out fairly soon. Now, the best way to get tickets to see Judy Cox and Medina Hemmentoller at C&D Realty on West Main.
Yes, sir.
They're both members of your club, right?
They are. They are great Kiwanians of our club. And I'll tell you another way to keep information. We have Kiwanis Club of Lebanon, a Facebook page. Search for us, Kiwanis Club of Lebanon, and our website, www.kiwaniscluboflebanon.com. We've got a page on there dedicated to the roast that we'll keep updated as we've got tickets and as we have more details to share.
Well, Dora, you've really had 2 different times to be concerned, let's say.
Yeah, COVID saved me.
Well, I think now that I know, I've been wondering who in the world. So what's happened in the past? I guess when it first started, the library roast. Now this was a long time ago, back to the 90s at least, maybe even the 80s. I don't remember. I didn't go to them in the very beginning, but at some point they decided we're going to have a man, then we're going to have a woman. It's been man, woman, man for quite some time. So I assumed that they would continue that since Dr. Stum was roasted last year. And then I kind of scratched my head, but I just never thought about bringing you back. I was just, well, that's ancient history, you know. Maybe you thought the same thing. But I think it speaks well for you that, well, since we didn't get to do it 2 or 3 or how many ever years ago, we'll do it this year. Is that?
Well, I guess I am ancient history, but
No, I wasn't talking about you, the event. 2 or 3 years ago, whenever.
well, Coleman, I will have to say that since I've been doing Leadership Wilson since 2007, this community has embraced anything I or the board has ever asked, ever. They've been so good to Leadership Wilson. So it would be very difficult for me to say no when someone asks me to do something that's great for the community.
Well, I think I know a little bit about these 3 people you've chosen to roast you. Jeff Ray, Lee Campbell, and Lisa Tucker. And so among the 3 of those, a lot of humor, a lot of, they know you pretty well too, right? I mean, you know them, but they know you as well, maybe equally as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it sounds like it's going to be a fun evening.
I tried to get my children, but they didn't jump on that one.
Well, you know a little bit more about them and they know you about you probably, so that might have something to do with it. We don't want Mama telling too many things.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about the meal for a minute. That goes with the price of the ticket, gets you a meal, and you were saying Chelsea's going to be a little different, I believe.
It is. So last year we served it buffet style. This year we're going to be doing a plated meal. Our caterer is from Houston's. So if you're familiar, they serve us some great food. They serve a lot of our meetings on Mondays as well. And so we're excited to have them come and
Well, do you know what the menu is going to be? Has that been determined yet?
we do. We're going to have some form of a chicken. It's a meat and 3 kind of a sit down meal. We're going to have a salad and desserts with everybody. And so it's going to be good food, I promise.
All right. I believe you said doors open at
5:30. Yes.
Meal at 6?
Meal at 6.
To 6:45. So 45 minutes to enjoy the meal and get ready for the fun.
That's the plan. And we are hoping this year we're targeting to not have a late night again. So last year we were out the doors by 8:30, and that's really our target again this year is to keep it a fun, condensed night.
All right. Who's going to be your MC?
The only John Bryan.
Aren't we glad there's only one? I hope he doesn't retaliate. He's probably glad there's only one Coleman boy. Again, the tickets, no doubt, are going to go fast. And go over that
Yes.
again.
And I'll also add, if anyone is interested in sponsoring, you may reach out to myself or Wilson Powell. But the best forms of communication would be, like I said, our Facebook, Kiwanis Club of Lebanon, our website, www.kiwaniscluboflebanon.com. Or if you want to just go see some lovely people, we're going to have them on sale, $60 a person at C&D Realty over on West Main Street. And, the tables. So if you would like to reserve a table, so sponsorship, so that will include your business on the program, and we'll have a PowerPoint slide the night of, is $750. And if you're wanting a table just to sit down with your friends with no business, $550.
Okay, the tables could go fast
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
But do you have a deadline? I mean, you do have to, if they're doing this for the business and want the publicity that goes with it, you got a deadline?
I would say if someone wants to get your business in, go ahead and find us now, because once these tickets go on sale, and the 1st of February, they'll go on sale to the public for $60 individually. They're going to go fast. So if you want a table, find us now, and we'll go ahead and get you a spot reserved.
Wilson, you did move to let Dory have the seat there, and we haven't let you say much since, but hopefully you are as excited and as involved in this as Chelsea is, and she seems to exude a lot of excitement here this morning.
Yeah, well, we're definitely excited, Coleman. On behalf of the Kiwanis Club, we're excited to have Dory be the roastee this year. Her outreach and her impact is felt in the community far and wide, especially through Leadership Wilson. So it's an exciting time. It's going to be a fun night for the community.
And I'm imagining, just sitting here thinking about all the different people that's gone through Leadership Wilson. You've made a big impact. There's a lot of them going to want to come and find out a little bit more maybe about you.
Well, I just hope that I just challenge them to buy a ticket. You know, it's a great night, and it benefits a lot of different entities in the county. And so I just really hope that the Leadership Wilson alumni will buy tickets, and I won't be embarrassed when there's nobody there that night.
All right. Well, thank you for being with us this morning. Thank you for allowing people to laugh at you on March the 28th at 7:30. So the doors opening at 5:30. 5:30. Right. Anyway, Dory, thanks so much.
Thank you.
And Chelsea and Wilson and Gail Hibbert. Thank you all for being with us this morning.
Thanks, Cole.
It's been an enlightening 30 minutes. We know all about it now, and get your tickets and don't be late. And I hope you'll join us tomorrow for Coleman and Company. And until then, I wish you a terrific day.